Game Breaker TV.
Big Bong, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Legendary episode 104 for November 29th, 2012. I'm Gary again. You're watching Game Breaker TV. Tonight, patch 5.1 is finally out. You know what that means? People complaining. That's what it always means. Plus, we'll look at the winners of the Tier 14 Heroic Progression Race. And is PvP really all about skill? All that and more. But first, of course, once again, for Game Breaker, contributing editor and WoW Insider author and everyone's favorite librarian, looking less orange than normal, Olivia Grace. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very well. Less orange. Closer to my books.
Looks fantastic. Close. You got to be one with the book. Be one with the book.
This is true.
And of course, as usual, from the weekly Mara PST, just the tip. Currently surviving entirely off of something warm, hot, yellow. It's not.
That looks so bad, Josh.
It's sanitary, and I like the taste.
It's Josh Allen, aka Lord. Josh, you're a little blown out. Maybe you can fix that while we're going in, but you're a little crunchy. First up, really quickly, your audio's a little crunchy.
I don't even know what that means.
Your audio's a little crunchy. It's a little like gainy and kind of sounds like you're going through a little distortion pedal.
I can fix that.
First up this week, got something to tell you about. Something really exciting. Very, very, very excited about. The 2012 Game Breaker Video Game Awards. Yes, yes, yes. With awesome giveaways. Go to the front page of Game Breaker TV. Click on this banner right here that says 2012 Video Game Awards. Click it. Click it, click it, click it. And it's going to bring you to a page. And guess what? We're giving away 3 pairs of Astro A40s. Thanks to Astro Gaming for those. Sponsored by Astro Gaming. You get to vote. You get to log in and vote, people. You can, choose, there's all different categories there. You can choose, best MMO, most anticipated, like favorite free-to-play game, all that kind of stuff. You guys vote. You tell us who wins. And then on December 28th, right there, we're going to have a live award show right here on Game Breaker TV. Of course, we'll be giving away the Astro A40s live on the show, plus be announcing all the winners. Beep, boop, beep, boop. And so go do that. And you go over there, you can, cast your vote. And then after you cast your vote, you can actually show back up every single day and do a couple things like, like tweet and Facebook and stuff like that and share. We need you to share, which will increase your chances on winning those Astros. So get on over there. The URL is actually gamebreaker.tv/giveaway as well. If you want to do that, go to gamebreaker.tv/giveaway to make it easy. Don't miss that. All right, so big news this week, of course, is that patch 5.1 has finally hit the servers. We've got a bunch of features that, we've talked about, bunch of changes, a lot of we were expecting, and some of which we were not kind of expecting. So let's start talking about some of the stuff that we kind of knew was coming in 5.1. And I think the biggest thing that we all been talking about for the past few weeks is Brawlers Guild. So now that the patch is live, we now know that certain Horde and Alliance NPCs that can drop invites are in fact rare spawns in the game around the new daily quest area. On top of that, there's a lot more invites than I think expected on the black market. So on PTR, what was there, like 2 or 3? And then all of a sudden we just got like, I don't know, a couple of them. Just couple invitations on the there's a few invitations on the black market. It seems a little bit more than 2 or 3, that's for sure. Either you guys pick any up? Either you guys pick an invite up?
No, I've been like camping the black market auction house, and another guy in my guild got one for the princely sum of only 49k, and I was like, wow, okay. Bear in mind, of course, that I'm EU servers, so we're kind of a day behind. So we kind of got them a little bit later than the American servers, but still, that is like a hell of a lot of gold. And Josh Allen has been smug, has been incredibly smug.
Yeah, one just sold on my server just before the show for like 8k. It's fantastic. Yeah. I didn't pick it up because I'm waiting for the price to go down some more. Still, I'm holding out. I'm waiting for Black Friday.
He's holding out for the like 10 gold black market auction house invite, which I don't doubt is coming on his server really freaking soon.
What do you guys think?
It's not coming on my server.
What do you guys think about these prices? Are they just out of control or what?
It just seems to be very different depending on server, because like that's actually a screenshot from my server about 3 hours ago. The prices have gone up a little bit since then, but there's still lots of them that are under 10k on Eridar, and some of them are even at short time still at this point. They're about to finish selling. So it seems like if you're talking about in one situation they're going for like maybe 10k, another situation they're going for like 60 to 100k. It's like
yeah.
Certain servers have people with lots of gold, some servers don't. We're all poor on Eridar. It's like Warcraft Detroit. That's what we are on Eridar.
Yeah, and apparently my server has kind of crazy booming economy where everyone's got 60k to splash out on black market auction house invites. Apart from me, I don't have 60k. If anyone wants to send me 60k, that would be awesome. Do it. Black market, invite me to the Brawlers Guild.
Do you guys think that you think the black market auction house is going to like constantly just have a ton of these invites on now? Is it just going to be flooded all the time, or do you think it's going to kind of even out and scale back, or do you think eventually everybody's just going to get one and then it's just going to kind of go away?
Well, Bashiok said 10 per day. At one point on Twitter, he was saying 10 per day every day. So yeah.
So that's what the black market, because there was only one item other than that on the black market auction house on Eridar. There was only one item, and it was tier 3 druid shoulders. So I almost wonder if they're just like, this would be amazing. Actually, this would make me laugh so hard if they were like, the black market auction house for selling heroic gear wasn't really working that well. We're just going to use that exclusively for Brawlers Guild invites now. That's what it's for now.
Exclusively, we're killing it. It didn't work. We're going to put that fiery phoenix mount thing on there for 1 million gold, and then just black market auction houses. Oh, black market auction house. Brawlers Guild invites for 1 gold per time.
They call it the Brawlers Guild auction house. That's what it'll be.
Brawlers market auction house.
What did you guys think of so something we didn't really know this. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's actually open to cross realm zones. Yeah,
like what? It's what?
What? It's what? Yeah, like so shortly after people started picking up invites, they noticed that there was actually people populating in from other realms. So of course people freaked out, and Zarheim had to jump on the old forums, and he said having 100 plus people in the queue doesn't create a good experience, but from our perspective, neither does having only a small handful of people. The feature is designed to bring a decent population into the guild, and those people should spend at least a modest amount of time as spectators or loiterers before getting into the ring. He said, we didn't design the Brawlers Guild with the intention of getting you through the queues in 10 minutes or less. We're not trying to replicate Dungeon Finder for the solo player with Brawlers Guild. He also mentioned that they do expect cross-realm zones to automatically disappear for Brawlers Guild once more people have invites. So that'll kind of go away. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, it's like, doesn't it kind of go against the whole starting the guild out small that we kind of heard about, and they were kind of going for that thing before? Doesn't really seem like that's the direction anymore.
No, I'm so angry about this. I'm so raging about this. I haven't even got an invite, and I'm like angry about this. It's completely against it. Daxari's posted a while back on the forums in like 2nd of November, I think. I want to say 2nd. And he was saying, oh yeah, the whole black market auction house thing is going to be this little secretive club, and it's going to be like a small thing. It's going to like foster realm community. It's going to do all of this stuff. And then cross-realm zones? Like, and they're shooting for this minimum 10-minute queue time. And I mean, I don't know. The only reason I could think of them doing it was to make the progression stretch out, because you're progressing up through the ranks. You're going from rank 1 to rank 8. And when I was doing this on the PTR, I got completely obsessed with it and like was grinding till rank 8 until my eyes bled, basically. And it was taking basically five wins and a bit per rank. So maybe they're just trying to stretch it out a bit. But again, if they're doing that, that's kind of daft too, because watching these fights is no interesting for so long when you're watching the same bosses again and again and again and again. And it's just, oh, why? Why did they do that? Why? Why, Josh Allen? Why, Josh Allen?
To make you mad. It appears to have worked.
It has worked. It has worked swimmingly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really
it seems like I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for why they would enable cross-realm zones.
Because I mean, if they wanted more people in early on instead of cross-realm zones, they could have just added more invites. They could have just made it easier for people on your realm to get in. I mean, wouldn't that have just been a good option? And then the other thing that you touched on, Olivia, that's kind of slightly weird as well. What do you think about the whole 10 minutes or less comment? I mean,
yeah.
How do you feel about waiting 10 minutes for single player content?
I think their logic there is that they really want to try and trump up the whole watching other people do it thing. They're trying to make it so it's something where when you're at the Brawlers Guild, not only are you doing the thing, but you're also just hanging out and watching other people do things. But I'm very skeptical that that's something that a lot of people are going to really latch onto. Like, I've had a couple people that I've been talking to so far that have said, oh yeah, I've just been watching people do Brawlers Guild all day. It's amazing. I've just been watching it like crazy. But, I love esports, for example. I've been watching IPL all day, and I'm kind of mad that I'm missing out on some awesome games right now because we're doing Legendary instead. But by the way, everybody who's still watching this, please stay here and continue watching Legendary. And also watch Klaus and Skrull afterwards, because that's awesome too. There will be VODs of IPL. That's how I'm dealing with this. But I love watching people play video games. I have no interest in watching anyone do Brawler skill. All right, whatever.
But I mean, like, chat room's been talking about Bruce, who's the super awesome Crocolisk, who you face. Like, he's one of the first bosses you're likely to face, is Bruce the Crocolisk. And the first time you go in there, if you forget to move from his chomp 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 ability, you're gonna die. I don't have a good enough American fake accent to do that whole "you gon' die" thing.
You gon' die.
Thank you. But yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And so, you watch someone get eaten by Bruce the Crocolisk. It's funny the first time. You might die to him the first time. Then you go back and you're like, oh, look, he's channeling a chomping ability. That's what I should have moved from. And then your excitement with Bruce the Crocolisk will fade. I'm sorry, Bruce, but nothing lasts forever. You can't hold people's attention with chomping for more than, I don't know.
Bruce, I really feel like we should start seeing other people.
We should start seeing other bosses, Bruce.
I mean, I'm a blood elf, you're a crocolisk. It's just not gonna work out.
This is going nowhere.
But it's, what do you make of all this? It's like Olivia, you seem to really be thinking that the Brawlers Guild is such a great addition to the game, yet you're just frustrated with some of how it's sort of implemented.
That's like precisely my view. I mean, I went and looked at it on the PTR, and I loved it. The best experience I had, I actually did an Alliance character and then a Horde character through it. Both of them the same class and spec, but and the best time I had in there, and this is something that I was sort of thinking about when I wrote an article for Gamebreaker on this earlier on today, and the best time I had in there was when I was sitting in the Horde side guild with me and 3 other people, and it was stupid o'clock in the morning US time, because it was kind of like a sociable hour for me, and it was just, we were rezzing each other, we were discussing why that stupid giraffe kept killing us, we were having a great time, and it was actually like a genuine, and I was just sort of sitting there thinking, wow, this is actually genuinely, like, I'm making new friends. I'm making friends on the PTR and American servers because we're trying to kill stuff. It was really fun. And I'm just so frustrated with the implementation. Damn it!
I wonder if I wonder if this goes back because we've been talking about the Brawlers Guild for weeks now, and there's been so many questions about how it's being handled, why it's being like this, and we've kind of gone all over the place and back and forth, and we're kind of going in circles trying to figure it out. And do you sort of think like, remember this was always supposed to be just some little thing, wasn't it? It wasn't supposed to be a big deal, and I'm wondering if they just didn't really anticipate maybe how much fun it is, and maybe it's kind of grown in to something much larger than they anticipated, and now it's like, oh crap, like we got to kind of figure out how to make this work because people really like it.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, it's like this is something that I feel like Blizzard just kind of got away from them a little bit. Yeah, it's a happy little accident, something where they're like, yeah, we'll put in this little quest thing. It'll be kind of cool. It'll be something that people go in, they fight stuff, and cool, whatever. Maybe like 5 people on the server will be interested in this, and then it's like everybody wants to do Brawlers Guild, so they're like, can you just just wait there, and we'll.
We'll reconvene and figure this out. And
yeah, but it wasn't like this on the PTR. I have to say, I mean, on the Horde side with me and my 3 friends, we had a great time. But on the Alliance side, I logged off because I was queuing for like over half an hour, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I mean that makes it a bad experience completely. Yeah, the queuing thing. Here's a question though, like for ideas like that, like if we're totally just speculating about this being sort of a happy accident they maybe stumbled on. Would you guys like to see more things like that maybe hit PTR that don't make it into game, that just like, hey, we're going to test something out? And like, because most of the things that you see on PTR are pretty much at the point where you're going to, I guess it's kind of expensive to just kind of develop that stuff and get to PTR level place to see like how people react to it. I don't know. It's kind of,
well, and
I guess my brain kind of went to, I'd love to see like experiments happen and then just like naturally things like blow up out of it where people like they have these happy accidents where things just they don't anticipate take off.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome, like from my perspective as someone who's just really, really interested in game design and watching game developers work and just watching how things evolve. I love seeing when people try stuff out and then it doesn't work, so they can it. But if Rocket's development of DayZ is any lesson for the overall community, it's that sometimes when you test something, it doesn't matter what it is, there's going to be somebody that likes it. There's going to be somebody who's really, really interested in what it is. And as soon as they put something on if they had put Brawlers Guild on the PTR and then said, this isn't really working too well, we're going to pull this, Olivia would have quit World of Warcraft.
I know, I think I'd have actually exploded. I think I'd have just exploded. That would have been it. There'd have just been like a neck.
There would have just been like a neck.
Just a neck.
Just a neck. With an exploded head here.
Yeah, Brawlers Guild is an interesting. It's just an interesting sort of new experience that they're putting into the game, and it's gonna be I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how this all pans out, especially with cross realm stuff and invites and how it kind of balances itself out. Waiting 10 minutes for single player content seems a bit odd to me. I don't know. It just seems, the whole philosophy of it seems bizarre because it's not PvP, so it's not like I'm waiting for groups to form. I don't know. It just feels weird.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's move on. So there's a lot more to cover in today's show. Patch 5.1 also included the item upgrade system, so you can use your Valor, Conquest, and so forth to boost the item levels of your items. The system of like everything has been met with some backlash now that it's actually on live servers. Wow, people complaining again. Who would have thought? Let's start with the PvE and Valor point upgrade. So basically, at 1,500 Valor, to completely upgrade each item, you will need up to 2,400 Valor to have upgraded everything.
24,000.
I'm sorry. That was going to be part of my joke. But thank you, Josh Allen. 24,000.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but check it out. That's 6 months. That is 6 months of capping Valor every week.
And that's assuming that you've got all the gear that you need to upgrade already, right? That's assuming you need no more gear now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it means that you're never going to use Valor points to buy gear. If that gear is not going to be better than something else that you can get, like basically if you are if you are raiding at all, like past LFR, if you're doing normal mode raids and you're able to clear normal mode Heart of Fear, normal mode Terrace, there may be a couple of exceptions with the new dailies. I haven't really looked at the itemization differences there. But for most people, it means that you're not going to spend Valor on rep gear anymore. Which, actually, I love that. I am stoked for that. Because it means I don't have to do freaking rep grinds anymore. I don't even care what my reputation with the Klaxi is anymore. The Klaxi can suck a thorax. That's what the Klaxi can go do, alright? I mean, it does mean that you need to still be getting Valor points, but there's different ways to get Valor points than just dailies, and you still will have to do dailies because of lesser charms, but that's 45 dailies a week, not 450 dailies a week like I was doing before. So, I'm good with it. I like it.
I can't believe anyone did 450 dailies a week. Honestly, did you actually do 450 dailies a week, Josh Allen? Did you actually do that?
I didn't, but there's a guy in my 10-man group on Saturdays who... okay, so when the patch came out, they moved all the lesser charms over to a currency. They sent you an in-game mail saying, oh, by the way, your lesser charms are currency now. But the thing is, they sent you an in-game mail for each stack of lesser charms that you had, because of some glitch or something.
No.
Every stack of 180 lesser charms that you had, they sent you an individual email for each stack. Guy in my 10-man group had 15 mails in his inbox.
Wow.
What are you doing with your life, Zista? What are you doing with your life?
Oh, named and shamed, Zista. Named and shamed. Well, actually,
I mean, this kind of forces people into capping Valor every single week from basically now until forever.
It does. That's the issue that I do have with it. Is it still does mean that eventually there's a point where it does mean that eventually there's a point where, like, normally when you're farming content, you get to that point where you can just kind of say, okay, cool, I don't have to be spending a ton of time in World of Warcraft every week. I was spending the 20 hours a week raiding before, but now that we're at farm status, I can kind of chill out on that a little bit. I do think that is an issue that will need to be addressed before too many guilds start running into that situation. But to me, that's something that could be just as easily fixed by making it easier to cap out Valor, like giving you more from killing bosses, for example. Right now, I believe it's just 20 Valor per
25.
boss you actually get.
Is it 25? I think?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's 25.
I never paid any attention to the individual Valor off of each boss, but yeah.
Well, no, it's
25.
With my hardcore casual guild took down some bosses this week, and it's just like it's a slap in the face. 25 Valor?
Yeah.
Seriously? You get 180 conquest points for winning an arena, regardless of your rating. 180. Or you can go and do, oh god, maths. 7 raid bosses. 7 raid bosses? Wait, is that right? So what's 7 times 25?
Well, I mean,
chat room?
And the other difference there is that you get gear dropping off the bosses in PvE where you don't from PvP. But yeah, it does feel a little bit too small, the number of Valor points that you get from raiding right now. I don't have a problem with having to do a little bit of something outside of raiding to like cap out your Valor, but I think ideally it should be at a situation where the 45 dailies that you do for your lesser charms is enough to cap you. I think that's about where they should end up putting it. So it could be something as simple as increasing the Valor from raid bosses, could be something as simple as increasing the Valor from the daily quests themselves, like maybe make the dailies give 10 Valor instead of 5 or something like that. I think there's lots of ways to go about doing it, and that will be a problem that they have to fix, but I don't necessarily call it the end of the world that you do have to cap Valor. I think making it easier to cap Valor would be a better way to fix that. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's useful that the content has to endure, and if there's no reason to cap Valor, then that means there's a whole bunch of content there that is used for capping Valor that is no longer relevant, so people will just stop doing it. It makes people more incentivized to go back and farm stuff, to do scenarios. Yes, you get Valor from scenarios. You get Valor from scenarios. I think you do.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you have tons of different. That's the other thing that makes me.
There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I do really like about this change is I feel like a lot of people right now are looking at this and saying, like, even after my weekly marmot, so many people were like, no, but you still have to do all the dailies in order to cap out your Valor. But I think people have sort of forgotten that there's other ways to get Valor than capping. Like, if you really just don't want to do anything but raid, you can run LFR as many times as you want. You get more Valor every time you run L. That's a really stupid way to try and cap out your Valor. It's going to take forever, but if that's what you wanted to do, you can continually run LFR and kill bosses that you've already killed because you do get Valor for having completed a LFR run. So there are lots of different ways to cap out on your Valor, which is why I consider it to be a massive improvement. Not perfect yet, but a massive improvement over where things were before.
I will tell you one way that you don't have to deal with capping out Valor from now till forever of your life, and that's you play Rift Storm Legion, the brand new expansion from Tryon Worlds. That's how you don't have to cap Valor for endless.
Doesn't Rift call, like, isn't there a version of Honor Points Valor? I'm pretty sure you can still cap Valor in Rift. It just means something completely different.
Totally different, and I guarantee you won't be doing it for now until forever. If you guys have not checked out Storm Legion, go over to stormlegion.com. The brand new expansion from Tryon Worlds, Rift. It is awesome. I am playing it. It is a ton of fun. Right before Legendary, somebody in chat was talking about in chat how they got their they'd won one of the copies that we gave away in the month of November, and they were absolutely loving it. You've got 2 new huge continents. I think it increased the world size by like tripled it. You've got these. You got Tempest Bay, the brand new mega city, which is in there, which is awesome. 10 more levels, 4 more souls, 7 new dungeons. I don't even want to get into the dungeons. Dungeons are awesome in Storm Legion. 3 raids, a new chronicle. And you cannot forget about the player housing, which is Dimensions. Dimensions is freaking awesome, and I'm still spending way too much time in there. I need to start posting my pictures of my Dimensions. Yeah, pay attention to the Facebook page. I'll start posting more pictures of them. I've been like a little construction building machine. Dimensions are their player housing where you can build stuff from nothing, basically. They give you boards and stone and you build stuff, and it's just so addictively awesome. Check it out. Go over to stormlegion.com and pick up Storm Legion's expansion pack. If you don't have the original core game of Rift, it's really easy to pick up. It's I think it's $50 for the core game and the expansion, and if you have the core game of Rift, it's only like I think $40. So it's a great deal. There's tons of content, and I have not seen anyone disappointed yet. It is awesome. All right, let's talk about the PvP side of things. PvP community has been kind of back and forth lately about the Conquest upgrade since they started talking about all this stuff. And one of the arguments against the system was that it created an even like larger gear differential for them in PvP. Ghostcrawler jumped on Twitter, and this just blew my mind. I love how candid it is and just how to the point it is. And it really made me think about this in a completely different way. He responded on Twitter. He said, ultimately, we want WoW PvP to be about skill and gear and not just skill.
Boom.
Yeah. Just next. Just next.
Just next. Yeah.
Next.
Well,
yeah, wow.
And the reason it's so to the point, it's so direct, it's exactly like, you know, it's a really straightforward answer. And at first, I'm sort of just like, whoa, and because you know why? Because I think as
can
MMO
you
players,
say that? Can he say that?
Well, that's the thing, because all MMO players like to think of the PvP aspect of the game as the portion of the game that should be based on skill, and gear shouldn't matter. That's why you see games like Guild Wars 2 doing the thing without gear mattering, things like that, to put it on a level playing field. And he's just like, nope. WoW is all about skill and gear, not just skill. And I was like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, but it's kind of smart. Like, it's kind of smart because it gets you to play everything else and, like, you know, go and chase gear. I don't know. It's a big statement. I mean, how do you guys feel? I mean, PvP is supposed to be all about winning. Most PvPers always wanted it to be on as level of a playing field as possible and not about better gear. So how do you think, I don't know, how do you think people are going to take this statement?
I'm going to say with surprise. I mean, I think it's a really big thing to say. I mean, yeah, there's always been the gear equation in PvP and WoW. There's never been a time when there was a genuinely level playing field. So if you started like right at the end of the season, you could literally just be like, boom, straight in there with the people who started at the beginning. It's never been the case. But it's a way to make. I think the problem with it for me is that it's a way to make people motivated to keep doing PvP, to keep going into arenas and earning conquest points and playing the game. But I don't know about I can't speak for every PvP nut in the game. I did that anyway. I ended last season with like, God, I don't even know, like 10,000 plus conquest points sitting in my bags on several tunes, and I was still playing. I didn't need gear to make me keep playing. I really like WoW PvP. I was fully geared for I don't even know how long, like a long old time, and it's just it's frustrating to hear it because I'd love to think that it wasn't, but I guess all of us PvPers are kind of deleting ourselves right there. We're no better.
I mean, at the top levels of PvP, I think it's still going to be somewhat even, as it has been in the past. It's always been somewhat even at the top levels. Like, you're looking top ratings, you're not seeing people matched up. Like, there's no rogues in there one-shotting people because they're wearing full conquest gear, and the other guy's wearing greens because he just dinged. Which, incidentally, was the most fun that I've ever had in PvP, is being that rogue in full conquest gear, or at least full honor gear in a random battleground, and I'm like, oh god, that guy only has 90k hit points. I'm gonna go ambush the crap out of that guy. That was me. That's me in PvP.
You know what you want to do? Do you know what you want to do in that case? You want to get a character 89 and 99%, take yourself into the battleground and kill like one thing. One thing and you're gonna ding. You're gonna be 90.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go hide, you're gonna go get your 90 talent, you're gonna equip all that gear you bought, and then you're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think that's something that, I mean, I do have to, I'm with Gary on what he's saying here. I feel that this is basically Ghostcrawler just coming out and saying, okay, yeah, we're not an esport. We're an MMORPG. We are at least partially about getting better gear. That's part of how the game is played. So that makes sense to me. When you look at it from the perspective of this is an MMO that's supposed to be about continually making your character stronger. That's the hook. That's what gets people to continue playing. I'm gonna bring this up again. I've been talking about it in like every single show that I do. I was talking about this in just the tip the other day. I don't even remember why, but I've been bringing this up everywhere because it's so fascinating to me. Guild Wars 2 had the completely horizontal progression, and it didn't work. It worked for a lot of people, but not for enough, which is why they're bringing in the Ascended gear progression. They're bringing in something where you do actually have to go and get better gear in the game. You have continual ways to continue upgrading your character. And that, to me, is the hook of the MMO genre. In fact, it's become the hook in other games. Like, I've been playing, on my phone, I've been playing Jetpack Joyride like crazy the past couple of days. It's the simplest game that has ever existed. Why do I keep playing it? Because if I finish another mission, I'm going to get a few more coins, and I can use those coins to buy a better jetpack so that I can do different stuff in Jetpack freaking Joyride. That's how people are. That's how gamers are nowadays. We constantly have to be working towards something. If there isn't something for us to work towards, we don't feel like it's worth it to continue. We feel like we're wasting our time nowadays. That's just sort of how gamers have been conditioned now. So I think this makes perfect sense. It's something that you want to keep somewhat diminished, and I'm not a high-level PvP player, so I'm not going to say whether or not the conquest system is going to end up working out perfectly or not. I just don't have the experience to really say that either way. But the concept of gear and skill is definitely going to be a major factor in a well-done MMORPG. That's just how it works.
I have a buddy who's he played World of Warcraft for years, plays other various things and stuff, and then tried Guild Wars 2. And we had this debate when we were talking about Guild Wars 2 versus World of Warcraft and skill based versus progression system. And he was just like, no, like I want to work really hard to get this uber weapon, and then I want to beat somebody who doesn't have that weapon in the face with it. Like, exactly. That's what I want to do. And I'm like, but don't you want to just have it on the same level playing field and just be like a better skilled player, and you can move around better and you can strafe better and you got your rotation down better. You're just a better player. And he's like, no, I just want that.
I just want to be
amazing-
overpowered.
I want to be
just wanna be-
overpowered.
exactly.
I want to go into PvP
wanna
and I
be
want
that
to
OP.
roll people who haven't worked as hard as I have to get that weapon, and that's it. And I think a lot of people are like that.
You even look at games that have, like, not MMO games that have progression systems, like Blacklight Retribution comes to mind. That's a game that you can jump into that game and you can beat the crap out of somebody who has been playing for ages and unlocked everything. You can beat the crap out of that guy with just the default starter kit, no problem. Skill is still a major factor in that game. But there still is that major hook of, I want to continue playing so that I can unlock more stuff, so that even if it's a side grade, it's a side grade that I can take better advantage of. You go, ooh, if I get this thing, if I get a little bit more XP in the game, then I can unlock the extended magazine so that I can start firing in longer bursts, which is going to work out great for me because I like to run in the middle of the fight and shoot like crazy, and if I have to reload first, then I lose. But if I don't, then I can kill the other guy. It's just little stuff like that it gives you an advantage. It makes you a little bit stronger, but it's entirely because of how you play. So yeah, I think that's definitely I think the idea of purely horizontal progression in today's, like, purely 100% horizontal progression, there's no advantage to getting there's like no advantage to playing at all. I think that idea just doesn't work with how today's gamers are. It may be something that comes back as tastes sort of flop around, which they do. But at the moment, it's definitely something that people want to have something to work towards. So yeah, I definitely think, especially in an MMORPG like World of Warcraft, which is, it's pretty much based on gear, guys. That's pretty much it. You get better gear in World of Warcraft.
But that's
I think it makes sense.
But that's exactly what I was saying earlier, is that, like, this is what I'm at the end of the Cataclysm, the last season of Cataclysm, again, like previously, I'm completely awful with the numbers. So the last season of Cataclysm, the Dragon Soul Arena season, we're going to call it that because I can't remember what number it is. But my arena team, everyone, all the PvPers I know were PvPing anyway. We'd run out of gear to get. We had thousands upon thousands of conquest points. We had all the conquest gear. We had all the gems. We had all the, all the stuff. But we were still doing arenas because they're really good fun. And it's really good fun to do arenas. It's really good fun to do RPGs. And the thing that you're driving towards, unless you're doing it for purely just because it's really hilarious and fun, is rating. Rating's already there. It doesn't need to be about gear. It can be about rating. Being about rating is for me personally, and I know for a bunch of other people out there, being about rating is just fine. You don't need this additional tick in a box.
And I'm watching chat, and it's like it's kind of a mixed bag, right? And some people are going like, that's a sad state of games and things like that. And I don't think that's with every game. It's just this game. There are alternatives. There are games out there that are completely skill based, where players are on the same playing field. And if you're that type of player and you want that is available for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not World of Warcraft. That's obviously by Ghostcrawler's tweet. They've it is a tool. PvP is a tool, a mechanism, another hamster wheel that they will put you on in order to drive you around everything else that's all connected of all the other systems. That's all it is. Whereas some of the other games that people want a fully skill-based game that is disconnected from that, it's just not this game. Now, here's another thing. Another thing that's been brought up about the conquest upgrades has been the different conquest cap between arenas and RBGs. I mean, so now what's going to happen with this? Like, does this force people into running RBGs to get more conquest points?
I don't think it's changed since it first came in. I mean, it's still kind of an annoying change. And if you like the number of conquest points required to upgrade your gear is the same number of conquest points as required to upgrade all your valor gear, assuming that you have the full conquest set. Because unlike, as Josh makes the exceedingly valid point, unlike in raids, killing people doesn't cause you to steal their stuff. Wish it did, because that would be so awesome, but it doesn't. So unfortunately, you actually have to buy all that conquest gear, and then you have to use all that conquest points you didn't spend on buying all the conquest gear to upgrade all the conquest gear. So yeah, if you want to be doing this in any kind of speed, you're going to be shooting for that. I mean, obviously, rating increases cap. Let's not forget that. But so the basic 2200 cap, you're going to be shooting for that. But you only need to win one RBG per week to get that.
Only one.
Yeah.
One RBG awards 400.
Josh, what do you think about the honor and justice points upgrades? How do you feel about that? Any major issues with that?
The honor and justice upgrades are I don't think anybody has any problems with those. They're very straightforward, and I think the important thing for those, the biggest reason that nobody's really upset about those, is that it's not best in slot stuff. It's not like the end goal by any means. Those are just kind of there to help tide you over until you get, because you can only. I should probably mention this. You can only use honor upgrades on honor blues. You can only use justice upgrades on like dungeon blues or justice point gear. You can't use those to upgrade epic gear at all. So
I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, I maybe I missed a patch note somewhere along the line, but that kind of took me by surprise. I went in expecting, and perhaps unfairly, to be able to upgrade all my PvE gear with my PvE points, and all my PvP gear with all my PvP points. So
yeah, it was something that, and I remember us talking about this a while back. When the first numbers started showing up, and we were like, well, these are obviously placeholder because this doesn't make any sense. And the thing we were missing about that at the time was that there was that delineation in there, and it just wasn't something that was really apparent from how all the different websites that were data mining were reporting it, and how they had worded things in the original announcement as well. It wasn't something that was apparent. So with that system in place, I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you could use like justice points to upgrade your epic gear the same way you can use valor points, congratulations, you now live in dungeons. That is your house. You have actually moved into the New Zhao Temple. That's where you live now. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk about a feature I know that everyone is super excited about from the Game Breaker crew, because everybody loves more dailies. Woo! Yay! Olivia and Josh love dailies. Yeah.
Our favorite thing.
Have either of you guys messed with the new dailies yet? What do you guys think?
Actually, I have. Believe it or not.
What do you think?
I found a daily that I like.
What?
What? So far, one.
Are you setting your alarm to go back every day?
And it's not Blingtron 4000. It's actually a daily. Well, in fairness, I've done one daily, and I got like 9 in my quest log, and I was like, really kill 3 of those guys? Sod that for a chuckle. I'm going to go and do this thing. What's this? Basically, what was happening was I was going into the area, I did the quest, I was doing the quest line, went to find the lady who's on the Skyfire, because I'm Alliance, and there's a lady who's on the Skyfire, and you have to go find her. And I was like, that looks kind of like a little arena. That thing down there, it looks kind of like a little arena. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to check that out, because I like things that happen in arenas.
I like where this is
arenas
going.
and brawling guilds. And it was a little arena, and it had a tiger, and it had a crane, and it had a crab, and you kill them, and that's a daily. It was really fun. It's
like
really fun.
It's like a mini Brawlers guild.
Maybe a little bit.
That's why she likes it.
It's a little bit like a Brawlers. I like things that happen in circular spaces. That's what I've concluded.
Oh, that's it. Make all
dailies. They're going to put you in a padded room, and you're just going to be so excited about it. This is the best.
This is the best ever. What do you guys think? I mean, this must be the first continuation of the story for Miss Pandaria that continues the storyline. How do you guys feel about them progressing the story forward? Is it working?
At least on the Horde side, it's a very, very minor step forward. I haven't done the scenarios yet. I was really trying to get in there and do those before the show today, because I was like, man, I'm going to need to know about that, but I haven't gotten a chance to get in there yet. So apologies, internet. My ignorance has failed you yet again. But so far it seems to be, it's kind of a baby step forward. It's kind of like, this is just sort of that had to happen in order for the story to continue. So there, it happened now. Garrosh is here. Good work, everybody. Let's see you in 5.2.
Did he arrive on a ridiculously small boat by any chance?
Yes.
Was it a circular boat? Was it round?
No. Disappointment. But Barry and Rin arrives on a boat. I don't know if maybe it's just me showing my age here, but when I was a kid, I had Lego, and one of the things I had was like this Lego pirate set, and it had this tiny little boat, this tiny little brown boat, which like you could only really stand 3 of your Lego dudes in, and it was just like the tiniest. Barry and Rin was like, nah, you leave the big impressive ships over there. I will take this tiny little boat with a little standard in it and 2 of my guys, and I'm going to totally land on the bit. It's going to be so impressive.
Yeah.
Does Lego show your age? I'm kind of scared by that whole thing. Is it
I
like
don't
because
know. I was.
because now that
think so.
Minecraft exists, it's like
Kids-
I was in Minecraft.
Listen,
There's a circular boat. that
My
somebody built
5-year-old
and-
nephew is like super into Legos, so
Okay, that's
great.
cool.
Thank God. I think Legos are timeless. Great. You're like
I'm okay with
19.
being
Like, who are you
5.
kidding? You're like, yeah, okay.
yeah. No, it was hilarious when Garrosh floated up in that ship because I was looking at that and I was going, I'm pretty sure this is violating some law of physics somewhere. This should not be floating right now. This should be glub glub space Garrosh right now.
You love that. You love Club. What about the rewards? Tell me about the rewards from Dailies. Are players are they feeling that they're gonna have to like, grind out rep for these? Is it a mandatory situation?
Maybe
super
for
awesome?
some people. The thing is at least the gear rewards, they cost Valor still, so it does kind of fall back on what we were talking about earlier, where now you kind of want to be spending Valor only on best in slot items. But some of those items, if you're not doing heroics, because I believe they're 496, which is the same item level as normal Terrace and normal Heart of Fear. I think some of those items might be better than what drops just because of stat distribution. So it may be something that you want to look at and go, okay, well maybe I should buy that and then upgrade that instead of upgrading my other gear. That said, that's something that I still would say is probably not something you're going to want to bother doing until you've upgraded all your other gear anyway. So, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff to spend Valor on now. A lot of it gated behind rep, but a whole bunch of stuff to spend Valor on. I did actually do the Alliance scenario just quickly, by the way. It's crap.
I've heard.
Tell us how you really feel.
I've heard that at some point.
There's a quote
really
for you,
do
Blizzard. It's crap.
It's crap. Yeah.
Sorry. I love you guys, Blizzard, but that is a really awful scenario.
I've heard that at some point in the Horde ones, Lorthamar Throne actually does something. And I just said that, and nobody knows who I'm talking about right now. Yeah, that's the leader of the Blood Elves. Nobody's ever heard of this guy. But at some point he does something in this, and so I'm like really excited to see what he actually does.
You should go and check Gunship, man. You should go and check Gunship right now, because that's got to break the game. That's going to have to break the game. Yeah, the Alliance one is just...
crap.
I mean, I don't want to spoiler. Would it be spoilers? Is it spoilers, chat room, if I tell you what happens in the Alliance scenario? Is that a spoiler? Does that count?
It might be. It's been like 2 days since it came out.
I'm going to say that there's a lot of... Actually, tell you who would really love this is Gary Gannon. There's a lot of construction involved.
Are we building stuff? Can I build a house?
Stuff.
Can I build a house?
Building things. You're
What are we
building
building?
things.
What are we building? You said it was crap. Are we building crap?
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're building stuff.
It's all that tea, man. Goes right through me.
Yeah.
Now I think you really have a problem.
What?
If your tea
Which
turns
one of
into
us?
solid waste, they have a problem. Olivia, can you please tell me what I would love? Because I'm...
You would love this scenario because you have to build stuff in it, and you love to build stuff with the dimensions. You love to build.
I do.
You're a building king. You'd love this
You don't
scenario,
want to give it away,
right up
do
until
you?
the point where you have to fight people. I don't
You
want to
don't
give it
wanna
away
give it
because I don't
away.
want to spoil it for people who haven't done it. And
All
there is lore
right.
advancement.
Everybody
I don't
go
wanna
follow
ruin
Olivia D. Grace as a gesture of her great awesomeness of not spoiling it for you. So go follow her. Let's move on. Here's an unexpected change that's getting a lot of discussion right now. Raid Finder no longer tells you if you're queuing into a partial clear or not. It's kind of odd. I mean, so before, if you were queuing to an instance and there were already bosses killed inside of it, you knew how many were already dead. Now there's nothing. It just says your instance is ready, sir. Would you like to come in? What do you think? I mean, partial clears were obviously having trouble before, people getting in to finish the run, but I don't know, does hiding the information really fix the problem?
It's going to
maybe I
lead
shouldn't even
to...
call it a problem. I don't even know.
Well, I mean, it's happened to me a couple times where I'll be like, okay, we're on the last boss. It's just we just got to kill like Will the Emperor. We just got to kill Garelon or something, and 2 of the healers left. We can't pull yet, and it just constantly, you just see down in the corner, it says, you have now entered the queue for Dungeon Finder. You have now entered the queue for Dungeon Finder, because it's popping up and some guy's like, no, 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 no. Like, I don't want to kill Garalon, Jesus.
Don't want it. Don't want it.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
It's
I think what a lot of people don't realize, though, and haven't realized, is that when you kill a boss in LFR, and this is how it was before, too, when you kill a boss in LFR, it will not queue you in to kill just that boss again. It will not queue you into an instance where there's nothing for you to kill. It doesn't do it. It won't waste your time like that. So, if you get in there and you kill just Garalon, and then you queue up again, it's not going to send you in to just kill Garalon anymore. It's going to send you to kill the first boss and the second boss. I don't remember their names off the top of my head right now. Vizier and Blade Lord. It's going to send you in to kill those.
Tyak.
Yeah. Zorlok and Tyak. It's going to send you in to kill those two the next time. And I kind of feel like a lot of people just didn't realize that. They just saw, oh, well, this instance already has two of them dead. Well, that's a waste of time. I want a full clear, not just those two, without realizing that if they take that queue, then you can come back and you can do the other two afterwards.
And Bashiok posted on this today, clarifying that you can the system prioritizes full clears for people who've already killed one or more bosses in there. It's genuinely in the system. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it prioritizes you in that direction. So basically what he said in that post was that it's trying to make it more efficient for players with their time. So if you rock up, if you've got your LFR queue, you're going in, you're going to kill one boss, and then the queue is going to do its best to push you back in to do bosses 1 and 2, to do Tyak.
I guess to be completely clear, there are situations, and I've heard people talking about this before. It's never happened to me, but there are situations in which you might, like if you take a partial queue and then you get back in, you might end up getting a queue to pop that says just that, like, oh, it's another 2 out of 3 queue. You might get that again at some point. But that's so freaking rare that there's way more people who are sitting there who haven't killed the boss and it says 2 out of 3 that they're passing on it saying, no, I want a full clear.
You know what's hilarious about this change? Like, I'm watching chat room while you guys are talking, and since we started talking about the change, and it is like 50-50 across the board of people going like, this change sucks. This change is awesome. I think World of Warcraft's getting worse by the day. I think World of Warcraft's getting better by the day. It is such a completely dividing topic. It's hilarious.
Did you just go Dukes of Hazzard? Did you just go just a little bit Dukes of Hazzard right there?
Yeah, I honestly think a lot of people just don't understand how it works. Like, even you guys in chat room right now, you just don't understand. That's what it is. Like, I see someone saying, well, I don't want to have to sit through the queue again. Guess what's going to happen when you cancel? You're going to have to sit through the queue again. Good work. You have now successfully, instead of having killed one boss for your 1 hour of waiting in line, you've killed 0 bosses for your 1 hour of waiting in line.
But I think it's kind of weird because I don't know. I queue a lot of the time. I'm queuing up for the Raid Finder as a healer, so I don't suffer with the long queues thing. Like, healers are getting in there pretty quickly, and it's the way it seems to go for every single one that has 3 in it, which is not all of them. It goes 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Like, almost every time I'm rocking up and I'm getting into the final boss. Like, the first time I went into Bug Raid, How to Fear, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Must be the wait a minute, I recognize that dude. That's not the first boss. And yeah, we went in, we killed Garalon and popped back out again. The only annoying thing is that you have to queue twice. It's just like, oh, for God's sake. I have to wait all of 6 minutes, all of 2 times.
Q.
It's awful. Q. Without Q.
Guys got to show up to the live show because the chat. I mean, we need to figure out a way to get the live chat into this show for people who watch on the download because it's hilarious. Like, besides the dividing 50-50 questions, I love the random people who just like make random jokes throughout the chat room. It's almost like people at like wrestling matches where they just hold up signs that make no sense whatsoever, and they're just like. We have chat people who are like that, and they make me laugh. All right, so lots of interesting stuff, obviously, that we're all the new stuff that's in 5.1. What's kind of interesting also is also the stuff that's missing. So there's actually several things that we all expected to be in 5.1 that actually didn't make it. So first off, remember ways back we talked about that Warlock class quest, with Black Temple, the Black Temple scenario and everything? Well, according to Dave Kosak on Twitter, that's being pushed back to 5.2. Zero explanation of what's going on. However, he did say, this was interesting, they did say that they're going to plan on doing all of the patch in 5.2, the entire thing of it, instead of spreading it out across several patches, it's all going to be in 5.2. What do you guys think? I mean, just lack of time, just didn't get finished. I mean, any sort of tinfoil hat moments of what held this up?
They couldn't figure out how to give warlocks green fire.
Oh, is that what it is?
They're still puzzling that one over. How do we make fire green?
It's
Fire's
an expensive
not
color.
green.
It's an expensive color. There's probably some sort of like, thing on the periodic table that you got to inject in there that's more smarter than me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That sentence
Need
didn't
more
really make
zinc
sense.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sentence structure didn't really make sense right there. It probably is more zinc.
Follow him.
Probably,
He speaks in sentences.
yeah.
They probably just didn't get it finished in time. It was probably a bunch of stuff. The Black Temple was a bit too green, and they were like, "Oh, we need to take some green out of the Black Temple. We need to put this into Warlocks." But yeah, no, they probably just didn't get it finished in time. I can't think of anything that could have happened other than that. What?
Maybe
I did actually have a tinfoil hat.
Did the new version of like Photoshop, does it have like unlocks now? You have to like get that color code of green.
They're still working on grinding out their Adobe rep.
Exactly. I've been
They're
grinding
scaling
my
images
After
down.
Effects for weeks and I still haven't gotten the right green. We got to push it back to 5.2.
No, this is forest green. I wanted jade.
It's all wrong.
Gotta get another
It's
2,000 tokens for Jade. God.
a complete
Get it
disaster. Another patch feature missing in 5.1 is the appear offline mode for battle tags. Any word on what happened with that? They announced that back in September, way even before MOP released, and we still haven't seen that. That's something I think a lot of players actually want.
Yeah, well, and it's something that personally I would love to have, because as soon as I can appear offline, that also means that I can give out my battle tag, which also means that I could run Raid Finder with chat room, which I would love to do. I've been wanting to do that for ages. But right now I can't do that without giving a whole bunch of people the ability to pester me at all hours of the day. Not something I'm that excited about. So I would love this feature. I was really looking forward to it, and then it wasn't there, and I was sad.
Just for you,
Yeah, me
Josh.
too.
Just for the internet celebrity that Josh Allen is, they should get that in there so you can play with the chat room.
Yeah.
Thanks, there,
Yeah.
Olivia.
The world's smallest violin for you, Josh Allen. But yeah, I completely agree though. I mean, I do a lot of rated battlegrounds, often cross realm with people, and it's often a case of like go over to the realm where I have one character on and be like, oh no, wait, I can totally bring this character that's on a different realm, and that'll totally make our group like, the group we want rather than the group which has my crappy mage in it because I'm really bad at mage. And then I end up with like 9 people on my battle tag thing, and then they pester me to do rated battlegrounds with them when all I want to do is level my hunter. And it's just like I like them, and I'm not very good at saying no to people, so I just want to be able to disappear. And they said it would be in, guys. Where is it? So unfair.
Who knows? More on the list. That's not in. Next on the list. I mean, if you're sad that that's not on the list, I know you're going to be just shedding a tear right now. Next. How about that?
Wait,
How about Cinderkitten? Remember that? Remember Cinder?
Oh, the kitty.
What happened to this? It's been several weeks. This guy was announced. I mean, this was originally announced last month. There was a follow-up announcement a couple weeks after, and all proceeds of the Cinderkitten were supposed to go to Hurricane Sandy. So not only do Blizzard hate kittens, they hate Hurricane Sandy victims, basically, is what I'm saying.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
They're like, screw you, entire eastern seaboard.
We hate you.
Yeah.
Where are you, little kitty?
Yeah. He was in the PTR as well. I totally had, when I was in the Brawlers Guild in the PTR, I was having fun with a Cinder Kitty. It was a Cinder Kitty. I was in the Brawlers
Sad.
Guild, and I had an invite, and there was a Cinder Kitty, and it's all gone wrong.
What do you think?
Everything
What's the
was
story
better
here?
on PTR.
Everything
Yeah, I mean,
was
what-
so wonderful on the PTR.
So let's just go back to PTR days, Blizzard. I remember
back
how
to
when things were
PTR.
so nice, things were good.
It's not going to be, now it's not like people asking for TBC servers or classic servers. They're asking for 5.1 PTR servers.
I
We just
remember
wanna
when you
go
used to
back.
open the door for me, Blizzard, when we went out, and you bought
Yeah,
me
used to-
dinner and
used
took
to
me to
pull
a
the
movie
chair out.
before you just stuck it in.
Wait,
what do you think? What's the story here? What has been popping up in data mining for quite a while? I mean, the model looks complete. The patch files, I don't know. Why isn't it for sale? Any ideas?
I don't know. It was, and the thing is, on the PTR, it even had spell abilities. It was a completely developed battle pet. It had everything it needed. There was nothing left to do. Unless there was some major flaw that I didn't notice, and who knows? Baffled.
I'll be the guy that goes there.
Yeah.
And I'll say that maybe they just said, oh, you know what, Hurricane Sandy, yeah, the relief efforts are going. Let's just wait longer on this. That everyone will forget that this was all supposed to go help out.
They're not that. Come on. No.
Hope not.
I don't know.
I like the suggestion in chat room. I like the suggestion. They're waiting for another hurricane. We'll just get on the next one. We'll get you guys next time, Eastern Seaboard.
Too soon? Too soon?
That would be way too soon for another hurricane. We could last a little bit longer before the next one, please.
I don't know. I thought that one would have got out in a hurry. I have no idea. So we're going to talk a little bit about PvP progression, but really quick, I want to tell you about another great deal we got going on. We got a deal going on. What happened here? What did I do? I screwed this up. Oh, there it is. Audible.com. Check it out. You go to audible.com/gamebreaker, and we're going to hook you up with a free book and 30-day trial. That's right. You get to use Audible free for 30 days and get a free book. We love free stuff. Go over to audible.com/gamebreaker. What'd you just get? You just got something new, didn't you?
I got last week, I got Stephen Fry reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then I was online last night on my phone. I was just browsing my way around, and I was like, I'm trying to learn Swedish at the minute, and I was like, okay, I wonder if there are any teach yourself Swedish audiobooks, and I went on, and there are several, and there's a bunch of free ones, and I really wasn't expecting that. For some reason, I thought everything would be paid for, would be expensive. Well, not expensive, but audiobook. You have to pay for it because someone sat down and read that thing to you. Really?
I didn't even know that. That's actually news to me. So there's actually free audiobooks on there as well.
Yeah, totally. So I was browsing through, I thought, okay, let's just go hit it up. So learn Swedish, go check it out. And there was an absolute ton of language learning books, and B, a ton of them were free. A bunch of them weren't free, but a ton of them were free. And I sat there last night repeating stuff back to my phone that clearly wasn't listening.
How dare you, phone, not listen to me in Swedish?
I have to ask though, how much do you trust a free learn the language thing? Because maybe what you think you're saying is where is the bathroom, but maybe you're actually saying use me for the bathroom. Maybe that's what you're actually saying. You gotta maybe sometimes.
I bet you. You know what I bet you it is? I bet you, now to come to think of it, I bet you there's a lot of educational style audiobooks on there that are free, and I bet you it kind of leans more towards that, or maybe some older stuff. But I bet you there's a lot of educational stuff that people have put out, and they just want to get it out there for free. That's really good to know. Yeah. I never even thought to search for that. That's awesome. Well, go over to audible.com/gamebreaker. Just use that URL and sign up. Absolutely free for 30 days. You get a free audiobook with the deal. You download the app, you put it on your iPhone, you put it on your Android or your other device, and it's awesome. I've been a subscriber to Audible for, at least 4 or 5 years. I honestly love it, and I'm so happy that they're coming on as a sponsor. Go check it out right now, audible.com/gamebreaker. So like I said, let's talk about some PvE progression here. The race is over. Shaw of Fear has been defeated on heroic mode. Woo! Yeah. Yay! Dream Paragon took the world first kill on 10-man, with Method getting the world first 25-man kill a few hours later. Congratulations to both those guilds. That was on Sunday. Since then, 9 more guilds have taken him down. Probably more by the time the show is actually airing. Who knows? It happens fast. Blood Legion and Vodka took the second and third. Josh Allen typing away, checking the stats.
Yeah, I'm checking. Sorry, I forgot to mute my microphone before I tapped with my thunderous keyboard.
Blood Legion and Vodka took the second and third 25-man kills respectively, and a Russian guild, which I'm not going to try to announce, took the second 10-man kill. And You ready for this? Remember last week we said no one had done any heroic terrace progression on 10-man in North America? Yep, that still hasn't happened.
Even in terrace?
Kind of disappointing.
Yeah, heroic terrace. No U.S. 10-man heroic terrace skills yet.
It's actually worse, Olivia. It's actually worse. No North American guild has even managed to clear Heart of Fear on 10-man yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
The top US
Apparently-
10-man right now, Fierce, is sitting at 6 out of 6 Mogashan, 5 out of 6 Heart of Fear, and nothing in Terrace. That's the top guild.
Wow.
Apparently, all the League of Legends players in Europe are correct. I mean, all the North American players like to do is just smoke the pot and drink and party with their girlfriends. They just don't take this stuff seriously, and I'm kind of disappointed. I'm kind of
amazed. Wow.
You're like speechless. You can't even find the words. You're just like
I'm just like uttering vowels.
Haven't you? We're lazy, Olivia. We're lazy. It's North America. We're lazy. We're all overweight. We eat hot pockets. We drink. We're just lazy. We don't care. We don't work. Look at the amount of books
But then you should be doing more raiding if you don't work and just eat hot pockets all the time.
See all the books you have behind you. See, that's like education. Look what I got. I got World of Warcraft. I got TVs. I got 88-inch television monster sets behind me of a wall of TVs. That's all we care about.
None of these things, Gary Gannon, are incompatible with raiding. World of Warcraft, TVs, unemployment, and hot pockets are all highly compatible with raiding. What's going on?
What is going on? Is 10-man just way more difficult?
I'm trying to... Okay, so there are.
Are you doing math? What are you trying to figure out?
I was counting.
You're deep in
I was
thought.
counting because the listing is a bit choppy here. But there are like 38 worldwide 25-man guilds that have started doing any progression in I believe it was it was 35 25-man guilds at the moment that are doing any sort of 25-man progression. There are 28, I believe, is the final count that I had. Something along those lines. Around that. Or like 25 or so. 10-man guilds. So there's a bit of a gap there. But that's the gap that you would say, like, all of the US guilds. Like, if you take out... And I went and I looked. If you look at just the European guilds, the numbers are actually pretty similar between 10 and 25-man. If you look at just the European guilds... in the top 20 European guilds in 25-man, 18 of them are working in 25-man progression. And what's this? 18 of the top 20 10-man guilds are also working in Terrace progression. So I don't think it's like there may be something to the discussion, because obviously in 25-man and 10-man there's more people, so you would expect there to be more 10-man guilds naturally to actually doing that. So there may be something about how it may be that 10-man is a little bit more difficult, that people are having a harder time progressing in it. But honestly, I think North American 10-mans just don't care. I think that's what it is. They're just not doing it.
So you don't think Blizzard needs to step in here and maybe hand out, some World of Warcraft food stamps or something for players to make it a little, give them some training wheels or something to make it a little easier? Because that's what we like to do in America. We food stamps, training wheels. We want things easier.
Yeah.
Give me my Starbucks. Venti.
I'm looking at this and I'm saying, well, this isn't a major phenomenon in Europe. It's not something that's happening over there. So why is it happening over here? And Americans are just lazy. That's what it is.
Maybe it's aliens.
We just don't care.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's to do with Paragon. Maybe it's to do with Paragon stepping down to 10s, and all of a sudden 10s is serious business in the Europe.
That may be a thing as well. Yeah.
Maybe there's
a home team in Europe.
The Russians
there
with
isn't
their historic arguments with Finland are like, nah. I am done if some Finnish team is getting all the glory here, and they're going to go in there and they're going to like try and steal half their guild or something. I don't know. People in America probably don't know about the Finland and Russia Winter War, so anyway, let's move on quickly from there.
Is that like a Cold War? Yeah, because that happened sometime.
It's a Cold War. It was cold. It's very cold in Finland.
We don't care about global politics either.
But maybe it relates to the holiday, like the Thanksgiving thing that just does not happen over here. Maybe it's to do with that.
Maybe, but That doesn't explain how
Olivia,
nobody's
you are
done
so
anything.
trying to stick up for North America right now. She's like, no, there's got to be a reason. I won't take it that they're just lazy sons of bitches who just party. No, we're lazy. Just chalk it up to that. Look at all the League of Legends teams. All of our North American teams suck. We're getting killed in esports. Why? Because we're lazy.
Yeah,
Right,
even the top North American StarCraft players are all Canadian. So maybe it's cold weather. Maybe that's what does it. It's
that's
cold
what
weather.
it is. Yes, of course. Why didn't we think of this first? All right, let's move on. Let's do some viewer questions. If you guys have viewer questions for us, we love questions here on Legendary. Send them over to GameBreaker. Submit at GameBreaker.tv. That's where you can send your questions. And keep an eye on our Facebook page. Usually the day of on Thursday, we put it up there and we ask you guys for questions, so you can post it there as well. And this segment is brought to you by Wowhead. Go over to wowhead.com for all your World of Warcraft database needs. That's wowhead.com. All right, first up this week from Eric Contreras. Eric Contreras. He says, do you think they will ever change the DK experience? Meaning, have them start at 65 now. This way you can skip to BC and jump into Wrath.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no as well. No.
I don't see why they would. What's the motivation for designing redesigning the whole start zone, or just like adding some numbers on there? Why would they do that?
I think if they were to do anything along those lines, it would be to fix up Burning Crusade questing for everybody. Yeah. Like if they're going to redesign something to make Burning Crusade questing not suck for Death Knights, they're going to do something that also makes it not suck for everyone else. That's pretty much what it'll come down to.
Yeah, I mean, Burning Crusade is the zone where you're just like, no, I'm just going to do dungeons. I don't even care if I'm a mage. I don't even care if I'm a hunter. I don't even care. I'm just going to do dungeons. And yeah, they just do that. They're not going to redesign some random little bit for just one class. Can you imagine how annoyed all the other classes would be if they did that? It's like, oh, DKs, it's cool, DKs. Come on into Wrath. Come on into Wrath.
Maybe this is why they pushed back Warlock Greenfire.
Oh,
they're like, we also have to figure out how to give Greenfire to Paladins.
All right, next up, this one in from Tom Brinkman. Tom says, is the world first race for this tier truly over? Or is Heroic Elite Protectors of the Endless actually the hardest of the hard bosses around? What do you think?
I guess we will know once someone kills Heroic Elite Protectors. Or if no one does kill Heroic Elite Protectors, if it just takes a while to kill Heroic Elite Protectors, it's kind of hard to guess right now and really see where... Well, because whenever you have a world first race, there's always like the big world first race, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like Madness is dead, Heroic Madness is dead, or Heroic Ragnaros is dead. But then there's always like the meta achievement right after that, right? Like there's these little sort of consolation prizes that end up happening where it's like, oh, well, you didn't get world first this, but you got world first, the Drake or whatever, the thing that also requires you to have done Madness. So it could end up being something like that. Or it could be something where people are like, well, Heroic Elite Protectors is actually really, really hard, and maybe if that ends up being harder than Shaw of Fear, then that might be a bigger accomplishment.
And last up this week, we got a video question. We love video questions. We don't get them often enough. You guys got to send in video questions. Post it up on the YouTubes. That's where all the kids hang out these days, the YouTubes and the Twitters. Keep it like, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, post it up there, send us the link, and if it's a good question, we'll play it on the show. Maybe it's a bad question, we'll still play it on the show because we don't get enough of them. First up, so this one in. This is from Carrie Littlefield. Let's take a look.
What's up, Legendary? I have a Warcraft lore question for you guys this week. Who, in your opinion, based on what you guys know of the lore in World of Warcraft, is the most powerful faction leader? Either Alliance or Horde, it really doesn't matter. We've seen, fights in the book and things like that, how Cairn obviously was physically superior over Garrosh, and Garrosh pretty much would have lost that fight, spoiler alert, if it hadn't been for the poison. Just let me know what you guys think. See ya.
All right, Carrie wants to know, who is the strongest faction leader in the Worlds of Warcraft, Olivia?
Strongest faction leader of the World of Warcraft would have a much better boat than Varian Rin. I don't know. That is a really tricky question. I've always sort of thought that Vol'jin was kind of cool, actually. He's like, yeah, but then is he really the strongest? I don't know. Thrall's had all the glory recently. Thrall's had all the glory. He's been out. He's been, he saved the world. He zapped Deathwing with a laser made of dragons. I mean, yeah, boring answer. Maybe it's Thrall. But then is he really the faction leader anymore?
Yeah, that's the question. Does Thrall actually count as a faction leader anymore? Is he still in charge of the Horde? We'll find out in patch 5. Whenever we go kill Garrosh.
In patch 5 later.
Yeah. Other than Thrall, if we put Thrall out of the equation, I would say probably Sylvanas. Just because she's kind of undead, and she's kind of been killed like 5 times now, actually, over and over again, and she just doesn't die. And she does crazy stuff. And she's kind of mean. She's a scary lady, and I would not like to have her be mad at me.
She's probably the coolest faction leader. She's probably my favorite faction leader. I don't know if she's the strongest faction leader, because she's kind of... She hasn't done a huge amount recently. Like, I mean, maybe I've just been distracted by all of Thrall's stuff, but Sylvanas has been kind of quiet. She's been kind of out there and not doing her stuff. Her whole start zone was awesome, but yeah, she's just been kind of quiet. But she's definitely my favorite faction leader.
Ooh, good suggestion from chat room here too is Jaina Proudmoore.
Yeah, she's going a bit. I'm kind of looking forward to finding out. Like, I don't know if people heard the data mined audio files, or whether I'm going to like do a spoilerific, spoiler-tastic, spoiler-faced spoiler here. But she gets kind of nuts. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. I like a crazy lady in charge of my faction.
Crazy ladies. Olivia D. Grace is a crazy lady. Follow her on the Twitter at Olivia D. Grace. And of course, go over to GameBreaker.tv every single day to read all of her great World of Warcraft coverage right here on the GameBreaker.tvs, and follow her on the Twitters. Josh Allen, aka Lore. Follow him on Twitter at Devolore, DEVOLORE. Go watch all his great stuff on YouTube. I don't know, there's like 9,000 shows, and maybe some new shows on GameBreaker coming soon, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think who's in charge of the worst dailies, because that's probably the most. Terran Zoo, because F Shadowpan dailies. Ook Shadowpan dailies in the Duker.
In the Duker.
So Terran Zoo, he's the strongest, because everyone just goes.
Follow me on the Twitter at Gary Gannon, and follow GameBreaker TV over at GameBreaker TV. All those words just kind of went together right there. They just kind of went all together. We do the show live every single Thursday at 8 PST. Come over. We got some new shows. We got Klaus and Squirrel, brand new show. It's a Let's Play show. You got to watch it. Some people are calling it the new Red versus Blue, which I'm very happy about that. I saw that comparison, because that is an awesome, very good comparison, and I'm proud to actually, like, I'm humbled that we have a new show that's actually considered that. So check it out. And that's about it. Don't forget GameBreaker.com/test. GameBreaker.com. Why can't I talk today? I can't talk. I'm just gonna, you know what?
Done.